Hello students, I hope you are all fine and in good health. In this audio presentation, I will discuss few important short questions from the chapter Indigo, chapter number 5 from Flamingo. First important question, you see it is written, why is Rajkumar Shukla described as being resolute? And it's a very important question because see in bracket I have given important. Now why Rajkumar Shukla is very resolute, why he is very much determined? See the answer. Rajkumar Shukla is being described as being resolute because he was fully determined to take Gandhi to Bihar, because that is the reason he came all the way from Champaran to take Gandhiji along with him, because he is one of the exploited peasants because of the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. He is a victim of that. So he wanted Gandhiji to come along with him and to save them. Being an illiterate and poor sharecropper from Champaran, he had come to appraise and complain Gandhi about the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar. Now, he is an illiterate farmer, but as I already told you, he is a victim of the injustice of the landlord system in Bihar, and he wanted Gandhiji to solve the entire matter. And that is the reason he desperately wanted to seek the help of Gandhiji. He was too committed to accompany Gandhi everywhere. Yes, and that is the reason, because his main target was to take Gandhiji along with him. So he met Gandhi in the Lucknow session of the Congress, and after that he followed Gandhiji wherever Gandhiji went. He followed Gandhiji everywhere. Wherever Gandhiji went to attend party conferences or party meetings, Rajkumar Shukla used to follow him. Gandhi was very much impressed by his tenacity and fixed date for Calcutta. Months passed in waiting. Shukla was sitting at the haunches at the fixed place in Calcutta till Gandhi was free. Finally, both boarded a train to Patna. So finally, after Gandhiji completed his party meeting session in Calcutta, and Rajkumar Shukla was there, he promised Rajkumar Shukla that after the party meeting in Calcutta will get over, we too will board the train to Patna. And as it was suggested, when that party meeting was over in Calcutta, Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla boarded a train to Patna. Now I am moving on, dear students, to the second question. See, the question is written, why do you think the servants thought Gandhi to be another peasant? Remember when Gandhiji and Rajkumar Shukla went to the house of Rajendra Prasad, Rajendra Prasad was not at home. And at that time, the other servants, they thought Gandhiji to be another yeoman, or rather to say, Gandhiji to be another peasant like Rajkumar Shukla. Because Gandhiji was also wearing dhoti and a simple dress, just like Rajkumar Shukla was also wearing. From Calcutta, both Gandhi and Rajkumar Shukla reached the city of Patna. He led Gandhi to a house of a lawyer, and obviously, as I told you, the lawyer is Rajendra Prasad. He was out of town. He was not at home. He was out of town. His servant knew Shukla as a poor sharecropper. In your text, it is given yeoman, that is a farmer or a sharecropper from Champaran, who troubled Prasad to take up the cause of Indigo. Now they remember Rajkumar Shukla because Rajkumar Shukla came to the house of Rajendra Prasad several times and kept on pestering him, desperately seeking his help to take the cause for the liberation of the sharecroppers from the injustice that they had to face at the hands of the estate officials and the landlords. So the servants, they knew Shukla beforehand. Gandhi went there with Shukla for the first time. So they took him to be another peasant. They actually mistook him, or rather to say they failed to recognize him, and they considered him to be another peasant. The servant allowed both of them to stay on the ground, but despite that, the servant allowed both of them to stay at the ground on the ground. So, dear students, now I am moving on to the third question. See the question. List the places that Gandhi visited during his first meeting with Shukla and his arrival at Champaran. What are the places that Gandhiji visited? Very important. Shukla called on Gandhi at Lucknow. Then Gandhi had an appointment in Kanpur and was committed to go to other parts of India. And it has already been stated at the very beginning of the chapter only that Gandhiji was a very busy political person by that time. Though he haven't attained mass popularity all over India by that time, he haven't attained that, but this particular Champaran episode made him a household name, made him very popular, and he became a household name. But at that time, Gandhiji was an active political party member, but not so popular that he is recognized everywhere around the country. That happened later. When Gandhi returned to his ashram in Sevagram at Ahmedabad, Shukla followed him. And as we know, it has been suggested also at the very beginning of this chapter that Rajkumar Shukla was very resolute and very determined, and Gandhiji was also impressed with his tenacity. He waited for Gandhiji, and because his target, his main intention was to take him along with him to Patna, because he wanted the help of Gandhiji to solve the matter related with the sharecroppers at Champaran. Let me continue. Then Gandhi went to Calcutta. Shukla was sitting on his haunches at the appointed date. When Gandhi was free, both boarded a train to the city of Patna in Bihar. So, as been suggested, as been told to Rajkumar Shukla that by Gandhiji that after the party meeting gets over in Calcutta, then he can take Gandhiji wherever he wants him to take. And finally, after that party meeting was over, both of them boarded a train for Patna in Bihar. Then Gandhi went to Muzaffarpur en route to Champaran. Now from Champaran, he went to Muzaffarpur. From there, he went to Motihari and the nearby village. Finally, he returned to Champaran. Then from Muzaffarpur, Gandhiji went to Motihari, and obviously he went on to the nearby villages also, and finally he returned back to Champaran once again. Now, dear students, I am moving on to question number 4. And question number 4 has already been stated here. It is very important. See, what did the peasants pay the British landlords as rent? What did the British now want instead, and why? What would be the impact of synthetic indigo on the prices of natural indigo? 3 questions are being combined. Very, very important. The peasants planned 15% of their holdings indigo. 15% they have already planned. The entire indigo harvest was to be paid as rent to the British landlords. They had to do that. This is illegal, but they had to do it. In the meanwhile, the British landlords learned that Germany had developed synthetic indigo. All of a sudden, a news spread all over Champaran that Germany, they had already developed synthetic indigo. So they obtained agreement, or we can say deal, from the sharecroppers to pay them the compensation for the 15% arrangement. So now they wanted the compensation that to be paid to them by the sharecroppers, that 15% arrangement. It was because the price of indigo would fall with the arrival of synthetic indigo. It will diminish or block the demand of the indigo. Now the real reason for this asking for compensation from the sharecroppers is that because of synthetic indigo is already invented by in Germany, already it will be available in the market. So ultimately with that the demand of indigo will fall. With the arrival of synthetic indigo, the actual indigo, the demand of the actual indigo will fall, it will decrease, and it will diminish, or rather to say it will block the market related with the demand of the indigo. That is the reason they wanted compensation, and there lies the main problem. So dear students, now I am moving on to question number 5. The answer is slightly lengthy. Let us come to the question now. The events in this part of the text illustrates Gandhi's method of working. Can you identify some instances of this method and link them to his ideas of satyagraha and non-violence? This is a question that is purely historical, but nevertheless it is also a very, very important question. So let us come to the answer part. Gandhi was a man of principles and did not want to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, but he wanted to render the humanitarian and national service. That is the reason when he was arrested, he had that time behaved in a very polite and a friendly manner. And at the same time, he made it very clear to the law officials, the British law officials, that He doesn't want to act as a lawbreaker. Instead of that, he wanted to do humanitarian and national service to the best of his ability. Gandhi was asked to quit Champaran, but as you know, he never did that. He received the notice, he wrote on it to disobey. Remember, a messenger gave him a notice that he was hereby been requested to quit Champaran as early as possible, but he told that he refused to disobey, and even he has written on the back of that message that was been delivered to him by the messenger that he refused to disobey that. Next day, he had to appear in the court because he was summoned in the royal court. The peasants came to know about it, and the town of Motihari became choked with peasants in the morning. Now, the peasants, they get to know that Gandhiji will be arrested. Look at the unity, every one of them gathered, and that is what Gandhiji wanted. They wanted the peasants to be united. They wanted the lawyers who are aiding and helping the peasants, they wanted them also to be united against this struggle, and he wanted the peasants to be free from fear. And so when the peasants, they get to know that Gandhiji was to be arrested, they gathered in large numbers, and it was very difficult for the British officials to control the crowd. And as you know, they seek the help of Gandhiji to do the same, that is to control the crowd on their behalf. They demonstrated around the courthouse. It was the beginning of their liberation from fear of the British. This was the first step, or we can say this is the first approach that they had taken in their struggle for independence from the domination of the British rule. The authorities failed to control the situation, and they sought Gandhi's cooperation to regulate the crowd. Regulate actually means to control and mobilize. So obviously, as I told you earlier, it was also discussed in the text when I discussed that the British authorities, they failed to control the crowd, and that is the reason they again went to Gandhiji and asked his help in order to control the crowd on their behalf. As I told you earlier, his ideas of non-violence and satyagraha came into operation, and from that perspective only, from that point of time only, Gandhi's ideologies, or rather to say his ideas related with non-violence and satyagraha, came into operation from that point of time. From him, the voice of conscience was above any law. Meanwhile, Gandhi was allowed to remain at liberty. These instances link them to his ideas of non-violence and satyagraha. Now, they failed to give a proper judgment to Gandhiji, and it was a triumph of non-violence and satyagraha, we can presume, and he was been released from those sort of jurisdiction or judicial inquiry and all this. These instances ultimately link up to his ideas that is related with non-violence and satyagraha. His basic theories of fighting for a just cause, self-reliance and non-violence through satyagraha became the greatest challenge to the might of Britishers ruling India. Now, obviously, his theories of non-violence, self-reliance, it has become the biggest challenge for the Britishers who were ruling India at that time, because he never ever supported violence, but in a polite manner, maintaining a peaceful non-violent way, he actually had shaken the throne of the British rule in India, and that is the greatest thing he did. I am moving on to question number 6 now, dear students. The question is, why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of a 25% refund to the farmers instead of 50% or full refund? Why Gandhiji agreed to a 25% settlement? Because the real reason is that, dear students, that he wanted them to realize what crime or what mistake they did. Money is secondary. The compensation or the refund is something less in importance. It is secondary. The main important thing is that to arouse a sort of emotion and realization in the mind of those landlords and estate officials that what wrong they did. That is the main target of Gandhiji, not the refund money. The official inquiry commission agreed in principle to make refunds of the money illegally extorted from the sharecroppers. So obviously inquiry commission was set up, and it was been decided that the money should be given back to the peasants. The landlords feared that Gandhi would demand the refund of the full money. Now the landlords, they became a bit anxious because they realized that Gandhiji might demand the full money from them. But to their amusement, he demanded only 50%. But to their surprise, that at first he demanded 50% of the money that should be refunded back to the peasants or to the sharecroppers. He remained firm on his stand. Then the representative of the big planters offered to pay 25% of, to which Gandhiji agreed, breaking the deadlock. But finally, when the representatives from the part of the landlords and the estate officials decided to refund 25%, surprisingly Gandhiji agreed to that, compromised, and finally the deadlock was opened, or rather to say there was no more deadlock. Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important. As I told you earlier, before I went inside the answer of this particular question, I already told you that money was less important to make them realize their mistake, the crime that they did, to evoke their human consciousness. That is the main thing that what he did. To make them realize that yes, you did some wrong. That is more important. He made them realize that one. Money is something, refund is something secondary. More important is to make them realize what mistake they did. Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important. More important to him was the landlords were confronted to surrender part of the money and with it part of indigo, their prestige. Yes, because they had to surrender their prestige also. And that is what the most important thing that happened. The peasants realized their rights and it boosted their courage. Now, from that perspective, from that point of time, the peasants, they became courageous, and they realized that if they jointly raise out their voices, obviously they will get the right kind of justice, and that is what Gandhiji wanted them to be. Gandhiji really wanted them to be free from fear. Now, dear students, I'm moving to the last question, question number 7. See the question, how did the episode change the plight of the peasants? Plight means the condition of the peasants. Which episode? Obviously, the Champaran episode. Till the agreement, the British planters were behaving like lords above law. Yes, they used to hire goons also, and some of the peasants were molested also, as we get instances from the text previously. They were deceitfully and illegally extorting money from the peasants. Yes, obviously most of them were illiterate, so it was very easy for the landlords previously to extort money and to exploit the peasants at the same time. With the settlement, they were obliged to surrender part of the money and part of the indigo prestige. But after the Gandhiji came and the settlement was being done, then not only they surrender part of the money, that is secondary, refund is secondary, but they have surrendered that one, and also the most important thing is that they surrendered part of their prestige also. That is what Gandhiji wanted them to realize. By now the peasants gain courage and confidence, and all these things happened because of Gandhiji. They knew their rights. By and by, the British planters left their estates and the sharecropping disappeared. So, within a couple of years, as we find it is mentioned in the text also, the British planters, they left their estates and the sharecropping, it totally disappeared. So that is it, dear students. I tried my level best to discuss the 7 important short questions that already I given you earlier in Google Classroom. Kindly listen to this audio presentation, and if there is any doubt, any confusion anywhere, do let me know. Thank you, students. Thank you all.